On January 29, 2007, a tall, spectacled gentleman dressed in an Issey Miyake polo neck walked on stage at the Macworld Conference Expo. Like the rest of the world, the crowd at the Moscone West exhibition complex awaited the next chapter of Apple Computer Incorporated, as it was called then. Simply put, the iPhone was revolutionary at the time. It was the gadget we all desired but never had received until now. When Steve Jobs took the stage more than a dozen years ago, time paused for a split second before leaping forward indefinitely. To rapturous applause, screams, and praises, Apple unveiled the iPhone, a marvelous sheet of plastic and multi-touch glass. The universe would never be the same after that. Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. Thank you for joining us. Today we will be speaking about the brand new iPhone 14 model. Please watch the entire video to figure out all the details. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and click the bell notification. The iPhone 14 won't be available until September, but anticipation is building. Even though Apple has not officially acknowledged the existence of its next smartphone, the internet is jam-packed with iPhone 14 rumors and talk of a complete redesign. Ming-Chi Kuo, a top Apple analyst, deems the iPhone 14 lineup would include 4 devices, including 2 upgraded Pro models. So while nothing is official, there are numerous credible indications to consider. We love the iPhone 13, so we anticipate big things from the iPhone 14, especially since the efficiency of the iPhone SE, which came out 2022, is comparable to that of the iPhone 13. Without any further ado, here's everything we currently know about Apple's next generation iPhone. iPhone 14 release date. Apple has yet to say anything about the iPhone 14, let alone when it will be launched. However, because Apple typically releases new iPhones at the same time each year, the iPhone 14 is very likely to be available in September 2022. The iPhone 13 would be announced on September 14th, 2021, the second Tuesday of the month. Apple appears to prefer the first or second Tuesday of September, implying that the iPhone 14 could debut on either September 6th or September 13th, 2022. Price of the iPhone 14. There is no official announcement on the price of the iPhone 14. However, since the standard iPhone 13 tends to start at £679, $699, or 1,199 Australian dollars, we'd predict the iPhone 14 to be priced similarly. It comes from iDrop News, which claims that higher prices are being announced officially at Apple. While the benchmark iPhone 14 would start at $799, the larger iPhone 14 Max might well cost an additional $100 at $899, approximately £650 or 1,200 Australian dollars. That might raise the Pro model's price to $1,099, which is $100 more than the existing iPhone 13 Pro's price at $999, whereas the iPhone 14 Pro Max would indeed receive a $100 price increase over the prevailing iPhone 13 Pro Max, bringing it to $1,199. Design of the iPhone 14. The iPhone 14 is expected to undergo significant changes, beginning with the design. In relatively brief, Apple's next phone may not resemble the iPhone 13. Front Page Tech's John Prosser prepared to offer us a closer look at the iPhone 14 in September 2021. The well-known leaker released a slew of renders, including the one above, that occurred to unveil the iPhone 14. If Prosser is correct, the next iPhone will have titanium edges, making it the most durable iPhone yet. Mark Gurman of Bloomberg quickly chimed in. The noted Apple watcher predicts a comprehensive redesign of the iPhone 14 and acknowledges the 5.4-inch iPhone mini seems almost dead. Ming-Chi Kuo, presumably the most credible Apple analyst on the market, agrees with Gurman. According to Kuo, Apple would release 4 iPhone 14 devices in 2022 and a new cost-effective iPhone Max to replace the defunct iPhone mini. And this is how the iPhone 14 family might look. The 6.1-inch display on the iPhone 14, the 6.7-inch display on the iPhone 14 Max, 6.1-inch 120Hz display on the iPhone 14 Pro, and 6.7-inch 120Hz display on the iPhone 14 Pro Max. Leak-cased schematics endorsed the whole lineup in April 2022. Apple would, finally, start removing the unsightly camera notch introduced with the iPhone X in balance, in favor of a much neater pinhole selfie camera. Other reports indicated that a longer pill-shaped cutout would replace the notch. However, display industry advisor Ross Young via Mac Rumors believes that both are correct and that Apple will use both the hole punch and pill-shaped cutouts, now referred to as a hole plus pill design. According to Young, each cutout would serve a distinct purpose. The round hole punch cutout will house the Face ID dot projector, while the pill-shaped cutout will house the front-facing camera and Face ID infrared camera. The Pro and Pro Max may also have slimmer bezels than their non-Pro siblings. Touch ID may return in 2022 according to rumors. Leaks from an anonymous source according to Apple Pro. It is being tested on the iPhone 14 Pro lineup, in addition to Face ID, of course. We'd take this speculation with a grain of salt, to give that Apple tested Touch ID on the iPhone 13 Pro before discontinuing it. According to the report, Apple has abandoned its efforts to integrate a fingerprint sensor beneath the iPhone screen, implying that Touch ID will not be available on the iPhone 14 and or any of its successors. Rather, Apple is betting big on Face ID, which partially explains its increased convenience, especially now that it can operate while you have to wear a face mask. According to leaked schematics, the iPhone 14 models may be larger than their predecessors. According to the the iPhone 14 Pro and Pro Max will have thicker bodies and more prominent camera bumps on the back. The modifications and components are minor but significant, as they defy the recent slimmer is better trend. Ming-Chi Kuo believes the thicker camera bump accommodates the new 48MP main camera sensor, a significant upgrade over the previous forecasting model's 12MP sensor. The diagonal length of the 48MP CIS would also enhance by 25 to 35%. And the height of the 48MP's 7P lens would therefore enhance by 5 to 10%, Kuo wrote on Twitter. Display on the iPhone 14. The iPhone 13 has a Super Retina XDR OLED screen. In contrast, the Pro and Pro Max have Apple's ProMotion 120Hz refresh rate technology. What is the point of telling you this? Because we anticipate the iPhone 14 to match, if not outperform, the iPhone 13. Could the luxurious ProMotion 120Hz panels be seen on all 4 iPhone 14 handsets? Unlikely. According to a recent analyst by the ALEC, at least one of the 4 iPhone 14 handsets, presumably the standard iPhone 14, will retain the 60Hz LTPS panel. Of course, this raises the prospect of up to 3 devices receiving 120Hz LTPO panels, as seen on the iPhone 13 Pro and the iPhone 13 Pro Max. The most comprehensive forecasting has been made by Ross Young, CEO of Display Supply Chain Consultants. Young tweeted a graphic in September 2021 that emerged to release the full iPhone 14 display specs. Here's the main thrust of it. iPhone 14, 6.06-inch, 1170 by 2532 OLED display with 460 pixels per inch and a refresh rate of 60 Hz. iPhone 14 Max, 6.68-inch, 1284 by 2778 OLED screen with a refresh rate of 60 Hz and a pixel density of 458 pixels per inch. iPhone 14 Pro, 6.06-inch, 1170 by 2532 OLED display with a variable refresh rate of 1 to 120 Hz and 460 pixels per inch. iPhone 14 Pro Max, 6.68-inch, 1284 by 2778 OLED display with a refresh rate of 1 to 120 Hz and 458 pixels per inch. Young has a good track record for iPhone leaked information, so he could be correct here, though he has revised his assumptions on screen sizes. If he is, both iPhone 14 Pro models will have 120Hz variable refresh displays, which will provide a faster frame rate when needed, while sustaining battery life when not. Pro models would feature LTPO display technology, which allows for high refresh rates and resolutions without sacrificing battery life significantly. If this is true, it will be a huge advantage to users. Storage, power, and battery life on the iPhone 14. According to Apple Watcher Ross Young, the device will use Apple's A16 Bionic processor, which might be one of the first 4mm chips. If that is the case, expect a substantial power boost over the current iPhone 13's 5mm A15 Bionic chip. Users could expect smoother graphics, faster responses when making gestures, and sleeker 3D maps. Reliable. According to Apple analyst Ming-Chi Kuo, the new Apple A16 chipset will be introduced this year, except in the two higher-end iPhone 14 models. Kuo also predicts that every model in the new lineup will have 6 GB of RAM, even though RAM isn't a spec that Apple typically publishes for its iPhones. Because the iPhone 13 Pro and Pro Max have 6 GB of RAM and the iPhone 13 and 13 mini have 4 GB, it would have been an improved version of the lower-end iPhones. When it comes to packaging, we anticipate that Apple will stick with the same alternatives as to the iPhone 13. 128 GB of entry-level devices and up to 1 TB for top-tier Pro handsets. Apple is rumored to be offering 2 TB of storage with the 2022 Pro models. But will it sell enough 2 TB phones to make it a viable option? We're still not convinced. If Apple is going to increase the processing power of the iPhone, it makes sense to increase the battery as well. The new iPhone 13 has a battery life of 2.5 hours, lengthier than the iPhone 12, so we can expect another significant increase in power. Finally, rumors circulate that the iPhone 14 Pro and Pro Max will lack a port. With wireless chargers and headphones becoming the norm, we can see why the rumors surrounding the iPhone 12 and 13 are still circulating. Could the iPhone go without a port this year? As per John Prosser, this is unlikely. According to the source, Apple will continue to use Lightning ports until 2023. The camera on the iPhone 14. According to unofficial renders accepted for publication by Front Page Tech's John Prosser, the iPhone 14 Pro, Max, and Pro Max will have a triple-lens camera. The standard iPhone 14 will supposedly have a dual-lens camera. Leaked case schematics from April 2022 endorsed this forecasting. The most exhilarating developments are thought to appear in the specification sheets. A well-known Apple analyst, Ming-Chi Kuo, believes Apple will equip the iPhone 14 Pro models with a new 48MP main sensor, a significant upgrade from the iPhone 13 Pro's 12MP sensor. According to Kuo, a better sensor is required because the best resolution for augmented and mixed reality is 8K to 16K. The tip corresponds with a rumor that Apple plans to release a mixed reality headset in 2022. Kuo believes that all 4 2022 iPhones would support 8K video recording, a first for Apple. Because Samsung Galaxy S smartphones now endorse 8K recording, Apple has declined significantly behind. Another intriguing allegation is that the iPhone 14 Pro models will be equipped with periscope-style zoom. Apple has trademarked the technology, enabling lenses to be layered parallel to the ground rather than vertical position for a much longer zoom range, via patently Apple. Name for iPhone 14. As technology requires, Apple introduces additional iPhone monikers: X, XS, XR, Pro, Pro Max, etc. Apple's next iPhone would adhere to its established naming conventions. Colors. According to an unsubstantiated rumor, the iPhone 14 and iPhone 14 Pro may be available in purple. Though unsubstantiated, the rumor suggests that the iPhone 14 and iPhone 14 Pro will be accessible in purple with a unique finish that shifts tone depending on lighting conditions. Apple has previously used the same color for the standard iPhone and Pro models, but in various shades. So if the purple rumor is true, that could be what we see in 2022. The iPhone 14 and 14 Max are supposed to be announced in black, white, blue, red, and purple colors, while the iPhone 14 Pro and 14 Pro Max are expected to be available in graphite, gold, silver, and purple. Titanium. The JP Morgan Chase investor report shows that Apple's forthcoming iPhone 14 Pro models may feature a high-end titanium alloy chassis design. Apple has previously used titanium for the Apple Watch, but this may be the first time the substance is used for an iPhone. Titanium is more scratch-resistant, powerful, and corrosion-resistant than steel and aluminum. Cooling. High-end iPhone models are expected to use a vapor chamber thermal system beginning in 2022, which Apple is assertively evaluating. Because of their higher computing power and faster 5G network speeds, high-end iPhones would require the VC thermal system. Smartphones from companies such as Samsung, Razer, and LG already use vapor chamber cooling technology, which keeps a gadget cooler when under intense pressure. It is unclear whether the vapor chamber thermal system will meet meet Apple's stringent requirements, but Apple is working to improve it, and high-end models may soon embrace it. After all consideration, we have our eyes set on iPhone 14 Pro Max. Which model are you looking forward to? Do let us know in the comments. Well, that's all we have for today. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.